Hey y'all, welcome back to our podcast. My name is Ronnie.
And I'm Nas.
And we are New Girls on the Block. So this week we're going to be talking about living with a spouse.
Yes, and how it changed, how it improved, how it disapproved. I don't know. But just ways it changed us in.
Did it make us a better person or did it break our relationship? Because sometimes I feel like moving in with somebody, it can really break your relationship because you don't know somebody until you like
really
live with them.
I totally agree.
Yes.
So we're going to get into that, but first things first. The usual is the week. Yes. So how was your week so far?
My week has been good, been working. I was supposed to go to a fashion show today with my sisters, but that got canceled. It's raining in LA. Well, now it's not even raining
I know
anymore.
it's all sunny and nice.
Yeah, so the weather's been tripping. So it's kind of been like changing my plans. But, during the week, it was just like literally, did I do anything new this week? I just been chilling, been trying to get some shopping done for the fall. Yeah. You know, I feel like this year we actually have seasons in LA.
Yes, it's kind of given. Like, I'm like, ooh, fall. But next week it is going to be hot again.
Get hot again.
Yeah.
LA, if y'all live out here, y'all already know the weather goes up, down, global
all
warming.
Around. It's crazy.
Yeah, but besides that, I had a job interview, which I feel like it went really, really well. Yeah. So hopefully I hear back from them like between Monday and Tuesday. It's like a second job. I feel like I'm gonna hear back from them. They said they're just checking out my references. So we gonna see y'all. I'm trying to get to the bag this fall. So
I feel it.
That's my week basically. Just chilling, interviewing, and having to pay for registration.
Oh yeah.
I have to be a big girl and pay for these things in life. But I should not have waited. But I feel like I'm paying for a lesson to not wait almost a whole year.
Hopefully next year we'll do it.
So I'm gonna do it on time.
Because that's annoying. I feel like they don't give you no leeway and then make stuff just go so like, okay, just because you missed it, you got to pay extra $200 like, or I don't know how much it goes
each month. It goes up, and then like. What? Somebody tell me, what is registration for?
It's for nothing.
Like, y'all just need to... I can write y'all a note and let y'all know I'm on the road. Like, y'all need to just register me. Like, I'm here.
Literally.
I'm here.
But I got to pay crazy amounts of hundreds of dollars, even thousands sometimes. For what? Like, it just don't make sense. Note.
Plus, I got to get my oil changed. So, it's
and
just
this is
like...
every year. Every year.
Sometimes I feel like having a car is a scam.
It is. But I totally agree.
Besides that, my week is good. I tried to like reframe it in my mind and just say, I'm blessed to be able to afford to do my registration. So let me just do it because I'll be in a worse situation if I was just broke and I just couldn't afford it. And then I actually got pulled over. Like, please don't take my car because that would ruin my credit.
And that's so annoying. Like, it's just a whole scam, y'all. Yeah. Don't get a car if y'all don't need one.
We need to go back to horses. Because honestly, you don't got to give them gas. No. Like, I feel like you just got to feed them.
But then they stink sometimes. Like the poop. Like, you have to pick up the poop.
Do you really? Why can't you just take it, like, to the yard?
They poop whenever. Yeah, it's not like you could time it. So
I don't know. I feel like it would be good for the plants.
Yeah, I mean manure, right? Maybe, but that would be. I feel
bring jobs. Somebody could clean that. That could be a new job category.
A new way of income. But
we already got dumpster men.
The freaking gas.
What?
It's crazy how they depending on us to pay gas for these cars.
No, we would clean up the economy, bring horses back. 2024.
2024.
I will vote on the person who brings that to fruition.
Imagine that. Imagine everybody had a horse. That'd be kind of crazy.
That'd be cool though.
I feel
people
like
get kicked with
you
a horse.
really have to take care like that's an animal.
I know.
Yeah.
You really gotta take care of a car though too.
True, but
like you gotta get an oil change, like tuna.
Maybe bikes. Like, what if everybody biked?
Yeah,
Boked.
and then we'll all be skinny legend boked.
Boked. No, biked.
Yeah.
Like that would be good. I feel like if everybody just rode bikes and everything was local,
I would. But what if you gotta take your kids some? Well, you can get the little stitches.
True, they have the little.
You'll be stinking.
What?
Because like, what if you start sweating? Like,
true though.
You gotta get to an important restaurant and you gotta get on your bike.
I mean, they should know. Like everybody ride bikes.
True.
So it should be like not that big of a deal.
True.
If everybody rode bikes.
Imagination.
I know. They do it in where? Like Denmark or something like that.
Where most people ride bikes. Period.
And the economy is booming.
Yeah, and I'm sure they don't have an obesity problem.
Yeah.
We saw them in the diabetes issue, the pollution issue, the global warming issue.
The car crash issue.
Yes. True. No more fatalities from drunk driving.
You could be drunk biking and be a little bit hurt, but
you'll survive.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit somebody on your bike, I've hit somebody on a bike before. It's low-key fun.
What?
Not to sound crazy, but you would just be riding your bike.
Oh, you hit some. Okay.
Then you put your whole body.
I'm thinking you hit somebody with your car on a bike, and you said that was fun. I'm like, girl, that's like nearly manslaughter.
So, riding a bike and hitting somebody, it's like they there and then they not.
I never experienced this, so I can't say if it's fun or not.
I've hit my first people on bikes.
It might be.
While I'm riding a bike. Trying to get away.
But at least they were safe. They didn't die.
They didn't die. So, they're still alive. So
period. Bikes are the answer, y'all. So maybe eventually our society would evolve to bikes and healthy air, because this is getting crazy.
What about you?
Yeah. Me, what did I do? I didn't do anything really exciting. I recycled. And I like recycling. Because I feel like it just be like random. It's like free money, low key.
It is free money.
Yeah, and I'm like, the
Save
little
your bottles.
Yeah, it was early morning, so I was like, let's just get these bottles out of here and we could get like some money. So we had like a bag full, and I was like, let me just go. We went. It was early, so it wasn't too crowded. But I just don't like the stink. Yeah, and I'm like, it was like flies.
But it's like, that's not a bad price to pay for some money.
Yeah, and it would take literally 15, not even like 10 minutes to do. And I got like only like $9. But I'm like $9.
Yeah, you $9 richer for turning some trash.
Like, exactly. So I'm like, maybe I'll start recycling more. It helps the environment. Hopefully, that's what they say. But it helps the environment. I get a little change in my pocket. I could buy a latte with that.
Period.
Win-win. Yeah. So yeah, I started recycling. I kind of started like trying to cultivate my house more.
It's looking fly, y'all.
Yeah, I'm trying to like make it more of like a kind of, I don't know, I think at this moment in my life, I'm like feeling like a bohemian, natural, like plants all around.
Artsy.
Yeah, artsy vibe. So I've been trying to like cultivate my house that way. And
or like boho chic.
Yeah. So I've been like thrifting pieces and finding pieces. Y'all don't sleep on finding pieces on the street, because if somebody moving or like, because I was at my sister's house, and the person, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but the person who was living there like just threw out something,
the table,
and then literally it was a good table, they probably just couldn't fit it in a whatever, and I'm like, period. Mine's not.
It looks good. It looks like almost art. Like, I like your vibe.
That's what I feel like. I was kind of like, because the house, I literally sold my table and then replaced it with that. Because I feel like a house don't really need, you don't need a table. You don't need like all these things if you don't, because I never ate at the table. We never ate there. So it's like, this table is collecting dust. I just put everything on it. Just any type of like drink, I'll sit on it. Then it's like just getting cluttered and looking crazy. So why not find a different way? So I just put like a nice little bench and put some nice plants, did a little cutie thing over there, and then made my room more like zen and relaxed, and I had like a wax burner. And
I liked your room
a lot.
Like between your room, your balcony, like the hallway, it's all coming together to like be a vibe.
It's been 2 years since I lived here, so it's like I feel like now it's finally turning into the home that I want it to be, not just like I just still need more art, like pieces, but overall I feel like it's coming together.
Period.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing much. Just living life.
Period.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. I feel like in fall, it's like you kind of fall back and really be trying to get low and get on your grind. At least I do. I feel like you are too. So, period. Becoming a gym baddie.
Yeah, I kind of fell off. Well, I was on a, womanly situation, and when I'm like that, I feel like and this month it was like extra out. But I feel like I just kind of like, I like to be able to, that I can just take the time back in this space and actually not make my period being like such a bad thing. And I feel like I'm starting to like adapt to that, of not it being a negative when I, because usually it's like, oh, these cramps, this, that, and then you make it into a negative, but it's like a natural process that the body does.
Yeah, and I feel like as you get older, like just like understanding your cycle more, it allows you to like have a smoother cycle, just knowing like what to eat, what not to eat, because that could change the flow so much.
Yeah.
Or I just know like people get in different moods, and I seen online this week somebody was talking about doing certain type of yoga while you're on your cycle.
Yeah.
And it helps your body like regulate better, and your mood is regulated, and you're not so up and down. It's like hormone.
What's it called?
Hormone
cycling, I think that's what it's called.
I think it's called that.
Yeah. And I think that's a good way of looking at it. Like looking at it as like, okay, let me process my body for this situation that I have to go through, and not make it a negative, and enjoy it in a way, and enjoy relaxing if you can, and like just clearing your mind and like meditating and
that
like
would be a good episode. I feel like a cycle
I know
episode.
though, for real.
I feel like we will learn a lot, because I don't know, I feel like it's a stigma, but I feel like for so long I just, like you said, I hate my period. I just like dread it. I'm just like, it's here for a week. I'm trying to do the best I can while I have it. But why not get a better relationship with our bodies and our periods? I feel like if we know, we'll be able to regulate it better. I
totally agree. So I've been trying. I haven't went to the point where it's like I need to like schedule my eating, and like I know it's like certain foods that I would like need more iron from foods, and I would eat more like lentils or take my iron supplement, stuff like that. So that's what I would try to like focus on, and for that. But I don't think about like, oh, I need to like eat better before it, so it could be like, because I need to, because I know that would help a lot too. And even with like cysts and stuff like that, like that would help like not develop them, and not all the dairy and stuff like that. So
it'd be hard sometimes. So like when I just see like people be like, you gotta eat like low alkaline or high alkaline, and just knowing like when you're in your full prime, I feel like you're understanding total your body, like how your body's reacting to like everything you're putting into it. But it's hard to keep up with that.
It is.
But I feel like doable. As you get older, you learn so much more.
And I feel like, I just have like I'm glad to just have the time to think about it, and like really, because even with my mom, like I told her, and she's like, oh, okay, that's a good way, because she'd be like, oh, I hate it. I'm like, I'm like, trying to live through it. And trying to just like this is what's gonna happen. I don't have to be mad, because if I'm mad, then that's throwing it. It's probably making it worse, making the pains worse and all this stuff. And this month, actually, like I didn't have, my cramps were not bad.
Really?
It was like smooth sailing. It wasn't as bad as like last month or the previous months, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting the hang of it, I guess.
Period.
To make it better for me.
I love that for you.
Yeah. So overall, nothing too crazy. Relax, and kind of like just trying to get my, I guess, life on track of the way of where I envision myself, because I've been doing a lot of manifestation, y'all. And
period. It's that season.
Yeah, to really like get on it and be more
intentional.
Yeah, and like I feel like the best thing that I heard is like to live your life like you are that, like whatever you want to go. So I'm trying to step it up and live my life like I am already.
Embody the person you want to be.
Yeah, so that's what my week was. So now I guess we could jump into the topic.
Yes. So living with your spouse, your partner. Okay, so I live with my partner.
Yeah, I live with my partner.
So that's the perspective we're coming from. We, how long have you been living with your partner?
I think since 2019.
So that's 2019, 2020. That's like 5 years?
4.
4?
It's almost been 4, because it was October of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before that, it's like me and him would live with each other like fully on for 4 years. But before that, like I was always at his house. He was always at mine. So it was like most of the time we were still together. It wasn't just like fully, completely living with each other. But so I had experience of what he was like before.
Oh, so you like kind of dipped your toe in it at first?
Yeah, because like literally since we've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And since we first kind of like started, we would like spend a night over each other's house and stuff like that. So
do you feel like there's like a stigma like with when y'all moved in, or like when you would stay over his house all the time? Did you ever feel like a discomfort from his mom or his family, or do you feel like people were judging you because you were like spending so much time over there? How did you feel?
I feel like I did feel like sometimes I would be in the way of his family. Like, I'll be like, oh, like, let me try to wait till everybody use the bathroom to go to the bathroom. Stuff like that. It will be like, dang, I don't want to ever, like, overstep. And I was there, literally, like, it was times where I'll just be there, like, for a month straight. Like, and then, like, it was, like, normal. But he, of course, he was like, oh, it's nothing. Nobody cares. And I'm like, and still, like, I don't want to overstep. And especially, I'm not paying rent. I'm living here. It's like, I'm basically living here, but not having to pay. Yeah. So I was feeling some type of way, like, dang, I hope nobody else is, like, we
what is she doing here?
She ain't paying no rent, and she here. But his family loved me, y'all. So I feel like it was never anything where I felt uncomfortable in that way. Like, they were making me feel uncomfortable. It was just my own
discomfort.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to overdo it and overstep. But we was like super close. How about you and how long have you guys been living together?
Me and my partner, we've been living together since last year. So that would be 2022. Yeah. So it's almost going to be a full year coming up in like December. Oh, okay. So yes. That's interesting. So yeah, I like living with him sometimes. Like I love living with him actually. Yeah. But I feel like we had to like adjust to living with each other. Yeah.
How did it first, like, when you guys first started living together, like, do you feel like it was changes, like, from basically, because you were living alone before, was it a big difference in, like, okay, now is somebody here, I have to kind of, like, adjust the way I'm living, or?
I feel like when we moved together, like, well, before I was living by myself, I felt like I enjoy living by myself. Like, first of all, I enjoy living by myself. And then it was just, like, times where it's, like, I could just cook for myself and just do certain things. And I just have to worry about cleaning up after myself. Yeah. Or things wouldn't get as dirty. But then it would be times where it's, like, I might be feeling depressed. Or, like, I'm out traveling for the weekend. And I was able to keep my room, like, a mess sometimes. Like, you know, the depression room. I don't know if y'all know what that is. But, like,
if you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. And I hope you don't know. Yeah. But, I had, like, a little depression room. So I just feel like with living with somebody else, I have to be more mindful. Like, even though I'm like, it's not that bad, I'm just a little messy. Yeah. Like, just like, if it goes on for too long and it might not be, like, as comfortable for the other person living there. So I feel like I had to, like, adjust, like, okay, I use the bathroom with the door open. I do everything, like, in the free and the open because I'm used to it being my house, drinking out the water jug by myself. But I feel like I just always have to be kind of mindful that there's somebody else there. But I feel like because we've had, like, our ups and downs living with each other, now we're, like, in a position or, like, we have an understanding. Like, he knows at the end of the day, like, I'm not a morning person. And he'll, like, clean the living room, but I clean, like, the room a lot. So I feel like we got into our own little groove. But, yeah.
Overall, it's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like, for me, being that we, like, had that experience at first of kind of, like, here and there living with each other. And then when he moved in, because I was living with my sister, and he moved in with me living with my sister. So it wasn't fully, like, own space. So we had to, like, adjust to that. And he had to adjust to that, too. And because she has kids too, so that was like a full, like, type.
Yeah, how was it living with kids and your family and your boyfriend? Because it's kind of like you went from his family and you to your family and you.
Exactly. So. I feel like when that happened, it was good. It was like I was glad I was able to spend more time with him, and like I was happy that he moved in. But then just the like me and him was good, but then it was like, okay, it's kids here, it's my sister here. We all have to be mindful of, like, everything because it's like so many people in this house. So it's like, okay, where can we kind of like have our own time? Like, and I made my room in a way where it was like, okay, this is where I'm spend most of my time. It was like, I tried to spend most of my time in my room and just.
Did you feel like that it caused any strain on your relationship?
No, it didn't. I don't feel like it caused. No, it in that way it did not. I think it just caused more like, okay, we gotta find our own space because this is like not comfortable for us. We have to like hear the kids screaming and it's like, oh, we just want to chill and like.
And it's not like you could be like, shut up. Like,
yeah.
It's like that's their house. Like, shut your kids up.
No, yeah, we tried to keep it all like it was never like any arguments. We tried to keep it all like
respectful.
Yeah, respectful of everybody and everybody's space. So we just wanted our own space. So when we did finally get our own space, it didn't feel as like foreign for us to be living together, and it was like actually better and it improved just what we had to work with, I guess. And we have a 2-bedroom, so it's like if he needs space, he'll come in here.
Yeah.
If I need space, I'll go like in my room or downstairs and stuff like that. And usually like he'll be at work and I'm at home, and then he's a really a night owl and he'll stay up super late. I'll be asleep and I'm an early bird, so I feel like he'll come home and then we'll like spend some time together, and then he has a night for himself. He gets to chill
by himself.
Yeah, and I'm asleep, and in my mornings I get my mornings by myself, and I get to like enjoy my morning. Yeah, and kind of like figure out what my day's gonna be like and stuff like that. So I feel like that dynamic actually works for us because it's like I don't have to wake up and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And, like whatever, and he could come and like spend time on his computer, spend time with his stuff, and enjoy his day, his night. So I feel like being that we have like our own times in the days where we get to be kind of like in our own zones, it helps for us to like when we have time together, it kind of like balances out. It works. The thing that I would say is cleanness, because we're both kind of like messy people, and I feel like I'm glad because I could not. If it was somebody who's a neat freak, they would hate me. It would have probably been over by now because
it was almost over for me.
Yeah, and I'm like, I feel like I'm not. I mean, of course, I would clean out my space and have like a comfortable. I'm not just like my house like a hot mess all the time.
I feel like it's a difference between being dirty and being messy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like dirty is having like open food and plates everywhere. Like messy is like I got dressed this morning. I didn't know what to wear, so I got 3 pairs of pants on my bed.
Yeah,
something like that.
I totally agree. I feel like when my house is usually messy, not dirty, but like the kitchen, some like the dishes is a place I'm just like, oh, we both kind of hate the dishes, so it'll be like, okay, we gotta clean them, so we just take the day and like clean up the whole kitchen and then keep it clean. Like we gotta wash out everything that we do, and then it kind of like eventually goes back. But usually we'll try to keep it like that, like
for as long as possible.
Yeah, we'll keep it as long as possible to keep it clean. But I'm just glad that it's not like that dynamic of you need to do this and that. It's like we both kind of take our own initiatives to start cleaning, and then they'll kind of put us another person, like if I start cleaning, he'll be like, okay, I'll help straighten up. It's not like ever like, oh, you don't do nothing or I don't do anything. We both kind of keep it as, you don't want to clean right now, we don't have to. You want to clean right now,
no
we
judgment.
Can. Yeah,
I feel that. I feel like with my situation, like I had a little hiccup a few months ago when it came to like the dynamics of living with my partner.
Yeah,
and I feel like communication's always good. Like I feel like if we would have communicated a little earlier, it would have like arisen to like the situation it was. But I feel like it was like I may have a bad habit of like, cause like I seen that he would clean up and do stuff, so I'm like, oh, he got it. Yeah. So it's like sometimes I gotta be like, okay, just cause he got it doesn't mean he wants to always be the one doing it, you know? So I feel like that was something I had to really learn, and to like, I'll be like super neat when I'm in my mood. Like I have a thing where I like to clean at night, and I like to like organize at night. Like if I'm not smoking, not doing anything, I'm just sober, I'm like high functioning at night, but I'm just not a morning person. Yeah. But like he's like a morning person and I'm like not at all. So sometimes he'll jump on my bed and like just be making way too much noise in the morning. Not just be
what are you doing? Let me sleep.
It's Saturday. Like, let me stay in. Like, let me sleep. So it's interesting having somebody who's like a morning person and a night person. Like you. Yeah. Y'all just leave each other alone in the morning. Yeah,
that's how it is. Because he knows, like, if I'm asleep, do not. That's one thing. Do not disturb my sleep. Like,
I feel that.
I would be so irritated. Like, do not disturb my sleep. If I'm sleeping, he'll come in there and check on me, and I'm like, oh hey, I'll wake up and say hi, but then I'll roll back over and go to sleep, and he knows like, okay, I'm a
let her go.
Yeah, and enjoy my night. So I feel like that's the kind of like, and usually in the mornings, it's like sometimes I'll want him up, and then I'll like hang out. Then he kind of like wake up and talk to me a little bit, but then I'll be like, okay, let me leave him alone. I don't need him to be up. I like after I do all of my morning stuff. Sometimes I'm like, oh, but she was up too, but then I'm just like, okay, let me him have his time because sleep is important, and I feel like everybody needs sleep.
Period.
Yeah, so I always just kind of like, oh, let me like fall back. I'm not gonna bother him. So,
seeing as y'all have lived together for so long, do you think there's a road where you could see yourselves living apart but still being together? Like, what would that look like for you?
I think so, because we talked about it before too. We talked about like having like, if we had build a house but have our own kind of like space, like a house where it's like kind of like separate apartments in a way. I feel like
Frida Kahlo and like Diego Rivera, they had like a house and they had like a bridge that connected the two houses.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I've seen that. I didn't know it was their house, but I've seen that image before. But I'm like, I think that would be cool just to have like I feel like at times, because I know he wants to like decorate a certain way, and I'm like, I don't want to decorate that way, and I feel like I'm kind of like in control of the house and decorative style. But I feel like if we did have that type of environment, like two separate living spaces but something to connect and we could like hang out, I feel like it would help him be as creative as he want and me be as creative as I want, because I want a completely like a pink room and like just like a vibe. And I know like even with this room I kind of taken over, like a lot of stuff is pink in this room, but I know he has like his little corner of like
his little game corner over there.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know he don't really like all this pink, but I'm gonna do it because I love the pink. So I feel like that would work for us in a way, but I feel like we will always spend the night together and either be at his house or whatever. But to have that creative space and just like a area where we could like kind of be at peace and chilling on our own, but be able to hang out whenever we want to would be cool.
I feel like that would be super refreshing too, because it's like you could totally reset, and it's just like when you might want a night to where you spend your whole night in like your quarters, and you're getting ready, and you just have like more excitement going to the other side of the house. Like,
I know, and seeing, because I used to love like when I used to go visit him at like go over his house and just like, I'm in his room, like this is what he decorated as, and I could just like, I'm in his room, I'm chilling. I don't know, it's like a vibe, like that's. And now that we like live together, it's still, of course it's not bad, but it was a good thing to see like, oh, what he would have style and like the type of vibe. It was like dark blue and like it's just like a good, like you could experience what he would like and what I would like. So I feel like that's something that would be cool for us. What about you? Do you feel like?
I feel like living apart. I love that idea too. Like the house. I feel like me and my partner had a little period where we lived apart, and I feel like that actually brought us closer. Yeah. Just because we had more time to miss each other. First of all, like we would only see each other like 3 times a week. And then those other 4 days, it was like we were talking, but we created like some kind of distance. So when I would like go over his house, like it would be more exciting. Or if we would like meet each other at a park, it would just be like, I don't know, it kind of brought the romance back. So I really like that, because like living together, sometimes it could be like repetitive.
Exactly.
So I'll always be trying to find like new things to do, like be spontaneous, like, because we're both kind of homebodies, but I'm like, that could get boring sometimes and like redundant. So I feel like living apart, it definitely like refreshes the relationship. Yeah. But in the long run, like I would want to live with him because like, I don't know, I'll be missing my baby.
Yeah, like, and that's how I feel like that's kind of like the only way living apart would actually work is if we're literally right next to each other. Because it's like, I feel like sleeping alone, I don't know, like we don't sleep alone. Like,
you know, I think it's like your body gets connected to like the partner that you're with, or like you, because like, do you get a feeling when your partner doesn't come home like at their usual time, or like if it's like a late night and they're out and about? Like I get like a weird, like I can't even go to sleep, or I get like a weird feeling in my stomach. Like I'll start to get anxiety. Like, and it's not me being crazy. Like I don't trust him. It's just like, I don't know. It's like a neurological thing where your body is like, I don't know, just used to sleeping next to that person, and it affects your sleep patterns.
I totally agree, because I would be up. And you know, that situation.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Girl, I don't know if we talked about it on here, but we don't need to get into it. But that night, I was like, literally, like,
we was about to roll out at sunset, like, what to do?
For real. That was like, that gave me so much anxiety. I was just like, this is crazy. This is the craziest I felt in so long. Like, I couldn't barely breathe. I was like, am I going to fall out? Like, it was that bad. Because I'm just like, what's going on? Like, it was crazy. So, I feel like, yeah, definitely. if it's like that, like, I feel like I would not be able to sleep. I would get, like, like, always looking at, I'll probably doze off, and I'm like, wait, what time is it? Like, let me see. Like, where is he at? Let me text him and see. Blah, blah, blah. So, I feel like I can't just be, like, completely... like every like sleeping alone if we had separate apartments and like, oh, I just got home. It's like, wait, why that seems weird. So in a way, I feel like that's the only way it could work out. As if it's.
But I do like the space though when you're not. But yeah, I feel like over like 2 days, I'm gonna be like, where's my man at?
Yeah.
But like I like having like alone time in the morning. But maybe if I was a morning person and got up, if we have different schedules, because I feel like a lot of people always think people who live together spend all their time together. Yeah. But it'd be like, with my situation, we both go to work at the same time. Mm-hmm. So we will get up, or he goes to work an hour later. Mm-hmm. So sometimes as I'm leaving, he's just getting up, or he's only been up for 30 minutes. Or it's just like, we'll have like most of the time we could get our errands done is after work, so we don't see each other until like 8-9 o'clock. Okay. And we're only spending on a limited amount of time, or on the weekends. Yeah. So I feel like the times where we're at work, or when we're in like running our errands, is still like you're getting your own little space and self-development. So that's always good too.
Yeah, I feel the same way, because Samara usually works at night, and that's when I'm like I'm alone during the day. I mean, during the night, like around like 5 to whenever he gets back. So I feel like that's time I kind of like could have the time to myself. And in the morning, so it's like we spend good amount of time together, but I feel like that's how it doesn't get like overly crazy. Is it just like, oh, every time we're like sitting next to it, like, you know, it's like we get to have that time away and space and time to ourselves and time together. So it kind of like works out and balances out, and it makes spending time together like still nice, and still like, okay, I want to spend time with him, because we have this time away usually throughout the days.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there ever a situation where you feel like moving together, you would advise against it for a couple?
I really feel like it depends, and like communication, that's if the communication is not there and you guys are not like actually talking about what you need, because I feel like everybody's different. Mm-hmm. Luckily, me and him are pretty much similar, and we have
you
similar
already got
living,
the program going.
Yeah, similar living styles. I think the conversation of how you want your house to be and how a person could help make that better for you would be a good conversation to have before moving in, because I seen posts about people like, they was like, oh, I moved in and then now we live apart, but it's made our relationship better. And they like, her and her boyfriend lived together for like 3 years, and then now they're living in separate places, and it works for them. So it's like, it all depends on what works for people. I wouldn't say I'm against it, because it works out for us, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have any downsides about living together, really. Yeah, because I think what also helped us be able to be so comfortable living together is that we're both middle kids, and we both have lived with our siblings and our so it's always like we've always been living with somebody, so it was never like okay, an only child situation where they had their own space this whole time, and now it's like, okay, now someone's coming in, now I have to adjust to figure that out. We always had somebody in our spaces, so
it's kind of easy to transition, and it's like y'all have somebody y'all enjoy.
Yeah, and I think that helped a lot, being that we both experienced, living with our family and living with somebody so long that it don't make it weird, or we don't crave it like, oh, I wish I just had my own space and this and that and that. So it works out for us. If y'all are like that, or was only kids and like had your own space and have to adjust to that, I think it do need some adjusting, and I think you do have to kind of like be mindful that you're not the only, like, you're not in this space, you're alone anymore. You have to kind of understand what they need and understand and speak of what you need as well.
Yeah. I think that's definitely important.
Yeah.
What else? Do you think y'all could ever do a 1-bedroom?
Yeah. I think we could do a studio.
Really?
I was thinking about downsizing.
To a studio? You wouldn't feel like too... Because I know earlier you said, like, you like that you're able to, like, go to your room, or he's able to come to the game room, or, like, the second room. Like, how would you get space? Like, if y'all was living in a studio, how would you get space from yourself? Or from your partner?
I feel like the type of studio I would want is a luxury studio.
Oh, so like a loft.
Yeah, and like something where it has amenities where I could go down to the gym and work out in the morning. I could wake up and do a run around the whatever, and just like have a patio space where I could sit outside if it's early, and I could enjoy a cup of coffee, whatever. And still, I feel like I do like to have this like the separate rooms and stuff at times. But even if he like the game was just like this area where, and I'm asleep, I'll put my earplugs in, and he could enjoy his time, and we still have that kind of like separate time frame, and just like, I don't know. I feel like we're good at not having to always be like, even though we could be in the same room, we could still be doing our own thing. It don't have to be like, hey, what you doing?
What you doing?
Yeah, we could have like times where it's like we're not even talking, but we're both like enjoying each other's
company, just like silent company.
Yeah, but doing our own thing. So I think the studio could work. The thing is, I need a luxury studio to have like different things that I could do around and inside of the building, and a nice patio where I could like enjoy still separate times, I guess. But how about you? Do you feel like, because I know you're in a 1-bedroom right now, but do you feel like you guys want the more space, or you could do like...
I feel like we definitely need more space. Like, maybe if we had like a big loft, we could do something like that.
Yeah.
But like, we're looking for a 2-bedroom. Like, we want to move, and we want to move to a 2-bedroom just because he does music, and like he has like built his own little studio space in our living room now. Okay. But I'm sure he would like to have like an actual room for that, and to take care of his business. And like, I do lashes. When I do my lashes, I do them in the living room. I feel like it would just be like nice to have just like one additional room, just so we could have like a kind of like an office space. And just like you said, so like if usually like right now, if we need our space, like one person would go to the living room and one person would be in the room, but we're basically always in the living room together. Like, we don't spend that much time in the room unless we're sleeping. Yeah, so so I feel like a second bedroom would just be cool, just so everything is not like so cramped, because he has a good amount of stuff. I have a good amount of stuff, like especially my clothes and stuff. Like before he moved in, I was thinking about moving my bed into my living room and then just having a closet in my bedroom, because I just feel like I love my closet. Like, I would love to have a space where I'm able to get ready and like just like, and I know he be getting annoyed because I be having like, I had like to be super close to the mirror when I get ready and do my makeup, so I'll have my stuff on my side of the bed. But sometimes if I'm like in a hurry, or if I'm a little messy, I'll have like some setting powder on the sheets. So I just want a space where I could just get beautiful by myself, like, you know, just have my own little space.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel like that when you put it like that, like certain aspects of your life, you feel like you need to have that space, and then since he's there, it is like, okay, this is my space too, so we have to
like kind of find a balance. And I want him to have his like recording space, so he doesn't feel like if he's recording and somebody walks into the living room,
yeah, it's gonna
he's just
make
like
noise.
exposed, or it's gonna make noise. He might want privacy sometimes. So I feel like a 2-bedroom would be good.
Yeah, like the perfect situation.
And even I feel like a 2-bedroom definitely beats out a 1-bedroom, or like a big loft, like something downtown, a nice airy like loft. That'd be fire. I'll put a little wall and build a little closet, and I'll be good. Though, like that would be fire.
I feel like, because at first I was so anti-downtown. Well, I'm still pretty much anti-downtown because
if it's parking, I don't care.
It's like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about downtown. I like it's still pretty affordable in a way compared to like studios in Culver City and studios in that. But I feel like I would prefer to live like dream way, like something like Culver City, a nice nice studio in Culver City where I have all my amenities like washer and dryer, dishwasher, AC, like just, and I feel like that's what I'm big on is like amenities. I don't mind the size as long as I have the amenities that will make me comfortable in this space. So I was thinking about it, but I think downtown is like still
a little sketchy. I just like the idea of being able to like walk out my door at 9 p.m. at night and go wherever I want to go, or get on a scooter and get to where I need to get in 5 minutes.
And that's ideal. I feel like that's ideal, to live in a space where you could like literally go down. It's a shop right there. You could get a sandwich. You could get anything you want, a snack you go to. Like,
or just walk a few blocks. Like I feel like living downtown, most of the places are walkable distance to get to that Rouse down there, the Whole Foods. Like I love that idea of walking. Like if New York didn't have so many rats and wasn't so expensive,
it
like
would be
that's
a
the
nice
vibe.
vibe. Yeah, I totally agree. Because like any other downtown in any other state, I'm kind of like here for. Like I would move if I like, even Portland. I was thinking about moving to Portland, and I was like, their downtown is really nice. Their apartments are really, really nice, and it's still like really affordable. So I was like,
Chicago is nice. I don't know if I would move to Chicago just because it's just so much that could happen to somebody who's not even involved in anything.
Yeah, Chicago's
but their downtown, girl,
it's nice.
Amazing. Like it's eating LA up. Like
really?
It's so clean. So many places to walk.
See,
like the museums are so nice. Like everything is just so beautiful. It's just like outside of downtown, you have to drive like a lot, but downtown Chicago, I would definitely live there.
Wow, okay.
Work on like CNN or something.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago is just a place I'm like, that's never in my mind. I would probably move.
But Chicago got some big houses too. It's just so much violence that happen, and I don't understand because violence happens everywhere. But I feel like it's so many people who be like
not involved in nothing. Yeah,
getting caught up with stray bullets and like you just be at the wrong time, wrong place. Yeah. But their houses are so nice. It reminds me of like Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
Like I went out there where it was snowing and it was like such a nice, like all the houses are so big and like so pretty. I just want a house, like.
Yeah, I think that's because I'm like talking about these studios and stuff, and I feel like a house is totally where I would want to, like, that's like
the ultimate dream.
Yeah, the goals of, okay, I have a house, this is my house, this is where I'm staying forever, you know? So I feel like eventually, but like right now I'm still in a space where I'm not looking to like have kids. I'm looking to just like still enjoy up until like my, you know, like mid 30s. Maybe I'll think about having kids, but I feel like at this moment I'm just like, I'm just going to enjoy my life. I could live in a studio. Me and him, it's just two of us. We could live in a studio. We could live in a space where we don't have to be like so invested in. It's already made. We don't have to do much, you know, like, because I know living in California,
it's expensive.
It's expensive, crazy. And to buy a house is 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a fixer upper.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to be in a space where I'm like focus on, okay, I got my money right, and I'm putting this into this house, and I'm able to fix up the house the way I really dream and really want it to be. I feel like that's a whole. What's it called? Like chapter in my life.
Yeah.
Like that's eventually.
Because houses are no joke. Like, especially like. That's the one thing I love about living with a man and a partner, because they can fix stuff. Like, I'm not good with the drill. See, I don't even know what the term is called. I'm not good with fixing things, so I would love to like just have a house and then from my partner be able to fix everything in the house, like hang something up.
Samir, me and my partner are probably basically on the same level of fixing things up. So we'll both be struggling, but I feel like I like doing stuff like that, so that would be kind of like a fun time, like if we're both in it together, because we had a RV and we was renovating it together, and we was like, and I think that's a fun vibe. Like I didn't want to put everything on him to try, like, because I know he like, I don't know, I like to be involved, and I like that it was like a kind of like we were doing it together, and it was like kind of like our project. So yeah, eventually, like when we get a house and it is it gonna be a fixer up, or we're both gonna be able to contribute and make the house the way we want it to be and design it, you know, stuff like that. So I feel like it's gonna be a learning curve for both of us, because we're both like not really like, I mean, we could make stuff like, but it's not like we gonna build a whole house, because we ain't got that skill. But that'd be nice, I know it would be nice. So I feel like that would be.
Have you ever wanted to live in something that wasn't like a traditional house? Like I always wanted to like live in like maybe like an abandoned firehouse or something, like in Princess Diaries.
I was seeing like people renovate schools and stuff like that.
That's a whole school.
A whole school. It was crazy. Like it's so big, and it's like their family home now. So I'm like,
that's an estate.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do nothing unless it's like my whole family. We could all have these own quarters in this house.
And that's a big investment too.
It is, but they got it for cheap. So I'm like, that's good if you're getting it for cheap and you fixing it up, whatever. But I have like, I was really big on tiny homes, and I was like, this could be like, as long as I have the land. Like I'm big on like having land and enjoying like your gardening space. And the nature of everything, because I feel like that's what it all comes down to, is really like being able to freely enjoy nature without the struggles of, oh, I gotta pay this $1 million
or
mortgage.
Having people living right up under you or on top of you, like when apartments. Like I want space.
I totally
like you said,
agree.
A garden.
And I feel like that's something that also I want to like possibly eventually look into, is having a tiny home. But I would want a place where all my family, like enough land where everybody could have their own like patch of land in my land. That's kind of like our whole goal, like as a family, is to
buy some
acres. Yeah, and then like, oh, we each could have our own, because I don't want to be too far from any, like, you know, like I would want to still have my family close, but to have my own space. So that's a total goals of the future.
That's amazing. Like imagine everybody put like $20,000 towards like some land, and y'all just buy up like a plot of land, like in Michigan or like anywhere where it's good land. That'd be goals.
So that's like my whole like life goals. That's life goals, major life goals. But
what is like 3 tips you would give like somebody who's moving in with their partner for the first time?
Let's see. Communication, number 1. I would say figuring out both of you guys' like wants and needs out of it, and if one of you guys need more space than the other, kind of like I would say compromise too, because finding the balance of like what your partner needs from you and what you need from your partner, and just like coming to a conclusion of what is gonna work the best for a happy life.
I agree.
And let's see, one more. I don't know, just be like, I guess like loving. I guess I could be like, just be like, you know, not always upset at something, and like making things like, I don't know, just be like there for them and stuff like that. I guess like just to make make them comfortable, make the person comfortable, and have them make you comfortable as well. So, and I feel like that all kind of wraps up with communication. How about you?
Mine would probably be like just knowing the expectations, like have an open communication about expectations. Like you said, like this person might be strictly a morning person and might hate you playing your podcast super loud in the morning, or this person might be like super anal and they like their condiments to be put up in a certain way. Like, understand, what makes your partner tick and what, like, they enjoy with their living things. Because, like, you never know. Like, I try to, like, give my partner, like, his favorite chips or keep, like, the pantry, like, stocked up. Because it's, like, small ways to just show appreciation to your partner. I think my second tip would be, don't get too caught up in, like, being boring or, like, doing the same thing every day. It's okay to do the same thing and you're, like, chilling with your best friend. But remember, you're with your best friend. Like, y'all could do things. Like, you could have date nights at home. Cook together. Like, do a project where you're building something together. Paint. I like to do, like, the little paint and sips with my boo. So it's just, like, always realizing, like, y'all have a home, you're building a home, like, incorporate each other's interests within it. And then my last one would probably be, because I feel like those ones kind of, like, incorporate a lot of other things. I would say to not get caught up in other people's expectations. Because that's the thing. Like, people would be like, why are y'all staying together? Y'all not married. Or why is this person not paying 100% of the bills? And it's just like, people would get caught up, like, especially in this day and age, it's like, with men and women or in partnerships, like, one person is always expected to, like, provide the majority of stuff. But if you're dating and you're in your 20s, it's just like, y'all should be a partnership trying to grow to something bigger together. Like, why would I want my man paying 100% of the bills? Like, that would be beautiful. And hopefully we could work towards that, get into that space together. But, like, that's something I feel like is for when y'all can both truly afford it. It's like, California is expensive.
Exactly.
And it's just like, I don't want to break somebody's pockets for me to feel comfortable. Because, like, if, God forbid, if you break up with that person, how are you going to, like, be able to have the tools to, like, live by yourself? Because it's a partnership, not, like, a codependency.
Like, and that was our kind of, like, last question. But I feel the same way. I feel like, because it's like, how does paperwork, like, being married differ from being when we weren't married, living together? I feel like nothing major has changed. It is like expectations as, you know, being married and what you want out of your marriage that could be talked about and stuff like that. But I feel like we are both working towards, you know, our own goals, our own dreams, and California is expensive, so I wouldn't want to, like, I know he is a type that's like, okay, I want to, like, he's gonna get a second job and stuff like that to, like, be
a provider.
Stuff like that. So it's like, I appreciate that, but I would never want it to be like, why ain't you doing this? Why ain't you doing that? You're supposed to be doing this as like, you know, like, as a husband, you need to be doing 100%. When nothing in life is ever like, I don't know, like, 100%. Why would you want to, like, why would I want to do that to him? Like, making everything like, oh, everything's on you. And I'm like, I'm not going to be doing the quote-unquote wife duties that, oh, you have to be spick and span. I have to wash the dishes every night. I have to.
And people don't pay attention to that because I feel like they're leading, like, they're pushing this super hypergamy onto people where it's just like, if he's not paying all my bills, he's not worth anything. And it's just like, first of all, why are you equating somebody's value and their worth to money? Because, like, money is like, is that all you want? Like, because somebody could be having so much money and then be treating you crazy. Or you sleeping at home. He's paying all the bills in his house, but he's coming home whenever he want to come home, doing whatever he want to do, or putting his hands on you. But at the end of the day, I pay all these bills, so what are you going to do? You about to stay in your place?
Or are you going to go on the streets? Because I'm, like, that's the craziest thing. You having this person, oh, you need him to provide, and you going to be at home. You don't have nothing backed up for yourself. You don't have no... Like, I don't know, that's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like with us, like, it's like, okay, if he's going to do this and get another job, I'm going to be focusing on building up my podcast, building up my social media, and, like, my business ventures of what I want to do to be able to even support us even more, you know? Because I feel like it's never should be that, like, oh, I'm gonna just chill around and not
just take,
do nothing.
or put my feet up while he labors.
He's doing all this hard work, and I'm not bringing nothing, like, because, like I said, I'm not gonna be like, oh, every time he come, it's gonna be a plate of hot food. Like, that's, I feel like if that works for y'all, if he's providing everything, and you every meal
cleaning,
having the same,
cooking, preparing the food, ironing the clothes, that works for some people.
It do, and I feel like that just don't work for me. I feel like we both, and I don't mind cooking, but it's not gonna be like, okay, I have to do this stuff. This is my wife duty, is that I have to do this stuff because somebody else said this is what a marriage should be. Like, no, I feel like what works for us, and we have not had any complaints. So it's like, I feel like whatever works for you, but don't put these false, oh, he should be doing everything or they should be doing everything, and I'm gonna be just chilling and living life like as spoiled and whatever. Because I feel like when you have that mentality, you get that type of attraction of a person who's gonna treat you like that, but then it's like, are they even, I don't know, it's like, it's no value. In the long run,
is that really what you want? Like, you gotta be careful what you wish for, because you can be put up sitting cute, but then you realize, like, dang, like, I done sold myself to be able to not work, and now I don't have no skills,
and now you're dependent, I ain't saving no money, this person.
And that's the last thing you want to be, is dependent or codependent. Like, you're living with this man or you're living with this woman, and you can't even go to the store without this person or do anything, make a move without this person. Exactly. So that's another tip. Continue to have your own identity, you know? Because that keeps things interesting too.
I totally agree, because I feel like even being that we've been together for so long, we kind of like have been in points where it's like we just kind of like merge, and we kind of like, it's just basically kind of extension of me in a way. But and that works at times, but it is still good to have, like, okay, like, have this person do what they like and you do what you like, and find out things that you guys could do together that you both like, or even like they could try things that you like, stuff like that. Because it's like nobody should just be like kind of like this one-sided,
completely devoured by the other person.
Yeah, completely for you, and all your likings I'm alike and stuff like that. I feel like,
and then when people do that, you forget, like, when you shift and shape yourself to be a person that you think somebody else like, that person was attracted to you.
Yeah,
not the person you think that they want you to be. Like, be you, because that's initially what attracted you to the person. And I feel like just work with your partner and with yourself towards elevating to be the best version of you. Yeah, and that comes with your housing, like your relationships and everything.
And it all starts with self-love. I feel like that's in, like, not even to be cliche, but that's the truth. Like, because if you don't have self-love, you are gonna adapt and like, okay, this person is like this, I'm gonna like this stuff, and I'm gonna just be this perfect like person to them and wife or whatever. And it's like, I have to be like this because this is what people say is supposed to be. And it's like, why not ask, like, be your own individual self and love yourself enough to know that you're enough for whoever you want to, like, whoever you want to attract, really. So
I agree.
Love yourself.
Yes, and I think that wraps up our topic this week.
Do you want to enter a little music section?
Yes. So did you get a chance to listen to any of Frank Ocean's old music? It's okay. We can have a continuation of the homework.
I know. I need to continue. I did not. Why am I don't even know why I'm like not.
Because this girl is Frank Ocean's biggest fan, y'all.
Like, what am I doing?
She's playing.
I need to. I'm like, maybe I haven't really been listening to music like week. That. I've been listening to a lot of the radio, because in the mornings I would like take my nieces to school, so I would just listen to like whatever. I don't, because my car is like weird. I would have to like go into it and attach it, and it's like, I just be like, let me just turn on the radio, and I just been listening to that, like I've been listening to a lot of like the old what's that radio station where they 94.7 The Wave?
94.7 The Wave. Period.
Yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of that, and they play a lot of like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's like one of the best stations in LA, no cap.
Yeah, for real. So I'm like, I've been listening to a lot of that. I'm just getting like a nostalgic feel for music and stuff.
I feel that.
Yeah, I haven't visited Franco shit. I need to set a reminder in my phone.
Apple Music. So you've been chilling with the oldies?
Yeah, chilling with the oldies and kind of like in a nostalgic music, 90s-ish, early 2000s, and just like, I don't know, because I feel like music, not to say it like that, but music was kind of better back then. I feel like a lot of stuff nowadays is just like not quality.
It's like repetitive. Like,
yeah, and people are using the same beats over and over. I heard a song that like literally somebody else, I forget what it was. Somebody just used that this year of the same beat, and somebody else just used like of a 90s beat, like, or 2000s. I'm like so tired of that. Like, I don't know. It's like no originality. It's no like.
No, there's no je ne sais quoi. There's nothing special about the music right now.
Like true quality. And I know I just probably have to look and like dig deep, because I know a lot of like underground artists are really good, and like I just kind of have to find.
But you really gotta hunt for those artists too. Like,
because what they putting out is not.
What they promoting is not for the people.
Yeah.
At all.
But what about you? Have you done something?
This week, I feel like I've been on my fall vibes. Like, I've been feeling real mellow and like laid back. I feel like I've been listening to a lot of R&B, like Snow Allegra, a lot of Party Next Door, like kind of melancholy R&B music, getting into the vibe. Mainly I've been, and Lana Del Rey.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been chilling, just like getting back into like the R&B. Brent Faiyaz, I like his new song. He had like a song where like it started off in Spanish. I think it's called Where You At, something. I like that song. So just like in the R&B mood. I haven't been really listening to rap like that.
Me
It's very low vibrational at the moment.
Yeah, except with Tribe Called Quest. I feel like that.
Yeah, you were playing that earlier. That was a vibe.
It's just like a little.
I think that kind of inspired me to go back and listen to like old hip hop, because I love hip hop, but it's just like I don't like what's going on right now. Like, some of it is cool for a mood, but I'm not in the clubs right now. Like, I don't want to listen to club music at 8 a.m. Like,
like it's like that's a total vibe, but it has not been my vibe for a while.
So it's a time and a place for everything. So I might be going back into the vault and listening to some old hip hop. You can never go wrong with that. And R&B. I hope we get some good albums. I wish Janae would come out and make a song, but I know she take care of her baby. That's more important. So but I love fall, and I love like R&B, and I feel like they go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a coziness. It's a nice little
like warmness.
Yeah,
like, it gives me like, even though you would never catch me drinking pumpkin spice anything, it gives me like a pumpkin spice vibe, like warm, laid back, burgundy, orange, browns. That's what R&B in the fall make me feel like.
I feel it. I like that. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Other than that, I guess this wraps up our episode, y'all.
Yes. I hope y'all liked it.
Yes. I hope you guys liked our topic. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing.
Share with your friend and put in the comments like, have you ever lived with your partner? Did it make your relationship or did it break your relationship?
Yeah, because we would love to know some stories.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be crazy. Yeah. Like, I've lived with somebody else before and
that was something else.
That was toxic. I was in jail.
Oh my God, yeah.
But, and I also learned a lot about myself too. So I feel like living with somebody, you learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree. So let us know what y'all living situations are if you live with your partner, and if that helps or if it doesn't. So
yes, and we have a new release day. We're gonna be releasing the podcast on Mondays.
Yes,
getting you started with your week.
Yeah,
you could vibe with the podcast on your way to work on Monday morning.
Yes,
or on your way like during your shift. I know y'all be bored not working your full 8 hours, so make sure you're streaming, rating. Give us 5 stars if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Make sure you're streaming on YouTube and tell a friend to tell a friend.
Period.
It's New Girls on the Block. Bye.